In this recording, I'm going to continue with the pun, and I'm going to make a selection of this butterfly and move it over into my project that I started in the previous video. I'm going to start off with the quick selection tool, and I'm going to drag over the predominant part of this butterfly to make a selection as much as I can. I spilled over the edge here. I want to try to get to the edge of the butterfly without picking up the green, so I'm going to have to subtract a little bit of that part that I spilled over. I'll hold down the Option key and just drag here along the green and get rid of it. I'm not concerned right now if I make a perfect selection, but I want to get a start of a selection. Alright, once I have a selection, I want to save it. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to save the selection, even if it's not perfect, and I'm going to call this butterfly and click OK. Now you can see that I've saved it here, but it looks like there's some bad areas. To help me check that selection, I'm going to turn on Quick Mask temporarily, because it can show me what's protected and what's exposed, or what I've selected or what I haven't. Remember, everything that's pink is something that's protected, and I've got areas inside the butterfly that I want to expose and some areas of green here that I want to hide. I'm going to start off with the brush tool, and I'm going to have white as my foreground color to paint with, and I'm going to try to get rid of all this pink that's in the butterfly or spilled over into it that I want to re-expose. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit more, show a little bit more of my butterfly, the black edges of the wings. I went a little bit too far there, and so I'll pick out black and I'll paint pink over a part of this where the green is exposed that I don't want to see in the final version. So let's say I'm maybe reasonably happy with this selection, and then if that's the case, I want to resave it too. So I'm going to turn off Quick Mask. I just use it to help me edit or change my selection a little bit. I'm going to come back up to Select and Save Selection again. I'm going to choose the previous butterfly, and you'll notice that I have a choice to replace that channel, and I'm going to say OK. Alright, now I want to come up here and duplicate this image, turn off the previous background, and turn on the layer mask, and see how it looks this way. Alright, now I could probably see some rough areas, maybe some areas I still want to smooth out or change. So I think I will use a little bit of Refine Edge. So I'm going to double click the mask. This opens up the Properties panel of the mask, and I can click on Mask Edge, and I could experiment with a Smart Radius. Now I'm going to move this out of the way so it doesn't cover up what I'm doing. And I'm going to increase this radius a little bit and see how much it picks up from outside. I don't want it to pick up too much of the outside trash, but I think I want to get a little bit more than what I've had. Now I could paint with the edge detection tool around the edge, but right now I don't really want to use it. Some of this I'll just clean up manually, because the edge selection tool really doesn't help that much with that. So this just gives me an idea of getting most of what I want of the butterfly wings, kind of softens them a little bit, and then I could maybe smooth this by 1 pixel, maybe feather it by 2. I could increase the contrast just a little bit if I want to. I'm not going to do any shift edging because I really don't want to cut into this anymore, even though I still see some areas that need cleaning up. I'll select Decontaminate Colors to help keep this contrast between the new background, and I'm going to save this out as a new layer with a layer mask and click OK. Alright, now I'm going to move this further out of the way. So that turned off the previous layer and has this one. Now I can still choose my brush. I can paint with black on the layer mask, and I could still hide a little bit more of this stuff that maybe I didn't clean up very much before. It spilled over the edge. So I cleaned it up. And if I feel satisfied now, I want to move this over to my working document. So I'm going to select the Move tool. I'm going to click on the picture. I'm going to drag it up here on top of that tab, which opens up my main image, and I'll let go of the mouse and let it drop onto my working project. Again, I can still see some areas that might need cleaning up, but I certainly don't need to do it all now. I could do it as I progress through the working on the project. That's all I'm going to cover in this video. I will continue some more selections and masks in the next one. Thanks for joining me.